Mi nombre es Julián Cana Quispe, soy de Perú. Yo llegué aquí a Estados Unidos en 2001. Vine buscando la mejora de la economía de uno. Pues es difícil para mi situación porque mi familia está allá y yo aquí. Son gastos diferentes, tengo gastos en la renta y cuesta, pero seguir luchando.
We're in an affordable housing crisis. It's prolonged. It impacts people of color and people with disabilities particularly. There are 3 affordable and available units for every 10 extremely low-income households in need, and the Law Foundation serves primarily extremely low-income tenants.
When I first met Mr. Cana, he had received a notice of rent increase, and it was 16.6%. It did not satisfy the requirements of a lawful rent increase, which is 8.8%. So he was receiving a rent increase that was double the allowable amount.
Pues me siente de un poco de pena, preocupación, porque para mí es mucho para poder pagar esa cantidad y pues ilustrado. Pues me siente como discriminado porque como no he podido desocupar, pues.
This type of behavior by our landlords is very typical, and I think it's because they feel like they have the power, and the turnover of tenants coming in and out of the different properties is so high that they just figure, oh, this is a new batch of tenants, they're not going to understand what their rights are, so they really bank on that. And Mr. Cana had already been to us, so knew of the services, understood what his rights were, and came back to us.
Yo fui a la Foundation, que aquí le ayudaban a las personas que tenían problemas de renta. La señorita Nalia trató de comunicar con el dueño de la casa para en que se iba a resolverme el problema.
I reached out to the landlord to inform her that the rent increase was unlawful. She immediately responded and corrected the rent increase, but the following paragraph after that was, I'm removing the home from the rental market, and I'll be issuing Mr. Cana a 75-day notice to terminate tenancy. That is not something that she can do. It appears retaliatory. He asserted his rights, and she turned around and said, I'm evicting you.
Y no le han dado notificación a los demás inquilinos, no solo a mí. Dije, ¿por qué? Porque si le están rentando a los demás, ¿por qué a mí?
I knew that it was retaliatory, and I think he knew that as well. And so I decided to go out and survey the property. There's only 2 other tenants on the property, and so I got to speak to them, and in fact, Mr. Cana was the only person who received a notice of termination of tenancy. And I didn't have to do anything else after that. The landlord reached out and rescinded the notice. Mr. Cana was really relieved and thankful that he could preserve his home and that he could have still afford it.
Unfortunately, what happened to Mr. Cana is all too common. Most often, landlords are represented in eviction lawsuits, and in the vast majority of cases, tenants are not represented. We provide some of the most robust services available in the entire region for that purpose.
The importance of telling the story like our client, Mr. Cana, is to have the community understand what everyone else is going through. I think when we talk about our clients, it's to have an understanding of where our community is coming from and what our community is dealing with. And the more we understand each other, the easier it is to help each other out.
Mi historia se fue un éxito. Y así como el mío, tienen muchos problemas, entonces es bueno que en la misma situación que se encuentran para que les ayude esta fundación, y es bueno.